Hey guys, welcome to our second video. We're right where we left off in the previous one. We have our hi SMITI from our index.html rendered in Firefox on the left-hand side, and we have the file open in Atom on the right-hand side. We're going to be doing a lot in this video. Particularly, we're going to be changing out some of the content of this index.html file, and we're also going to be creating other HTML files so we can go from having a web page to having a website. So right now, what I'm going to begin by doing is actually getting rid of this paragraph tag. Every single page that you have, if it's going to follow what we would call semantic HTML, meaning that it's going to be not only readable by humans, but also based upon the kinds of tags that you have, it's easily understood by common conventions for things like APIs and other programs that are on the internet that are reading your site. When Google's looking to try to index and crawl through all the different content that's out there, it's going to go and it's going to look for something called an H1 tag or a heading tag. This is the largest size that we have. So I can come in and I can say H1 and hit enter. And I can go ahead and put one of these on every single page that I have within a site. Since this is our landing page, I'm just going to say, welcome to my site. I'll give it an exclamation point. And let's see how this text changes, right? So obviously it's not going to say hi SMITI anymore, but think about the size and the weight of the font over here. If I hit refresh, we can see that it's gotten a lot larger and it's gotten a lot heavier. That's because there's already some basic stylings that are built in based upon what types of tags we use. We're going to eventually change those with our CSS, but right now, this is just kind of the basics of how the site is rendering out information. Maybe if I came down below, I could put a paragraph tag in, so I'll do a P and then hit enter. And this is just for general text that would appear on the page. And I could say, hello there, welcome to my great site. And then give it a refresh and we can see the content that's there. We'll talk a little bit later about some ways that we can actually go ahead and have Atom take care of putting in some generic copy or some generic text for us. But for right now, we'll just leave this the way that it is. So obviously I'm not going to want everything on my site to appear on this page. I want things a little bit more organized based upon the content that's there. And the welcome page should really just be about welcoming people to the site itself, the landing. If I'm selling a product, maybe it's some general information or some like flashy pictures that really attract people to that idea of it. If it's for a school, maybe if you go to your school's website, you'll see just some general information in the beginning about the school itself, and then you'll see other pages that are organized underneath or kind of structured side by side with that landing page. So here I can come in and below where it says index.html over on the left hand side where I have my directory, I'm going to right click and I'm going to say new file. Let's go ahead and create something else that could be a part of this site. Typically we'll see things like an about page, right? So I'll say about.html. And following the same process as before, I'm going to use these snippets. So I'll type in HTML and then hit enter. And it's going to give me all that boilerplate code so I don't have to repeat myself. If I come down to where it says title, I'll say about us or about me, because this is all about me. Can be a little selfish here. And then give it a save. If I come back over here and hit refresh, it still says welcome to my site. That's because if I look at the file path up here, or this URL that we're traveling to, I'm still going to index.html. I could come in here and change this and say about.html, and hey, there may not be anything here, but if we look at the title in the tab at the top, it says about me. So let's come in here and let's change this. Let's do an H1 and we'll say all about me. I guess I should probably capitalize things. Let's give it a save and a refresh, and hey, now we have that content within our page. If I were to hit the back button, it should take me back to my index.html, and it does, so welcome to my site. Go forward, and I'm now back to the about me. But what if I don't want to have to just use like the back and the forward button? What if I want to be able to click on things? If I think about like links that exist on pages, I should be able to do the same thing here for my site, and that's true. Let me go back to this index page to begin with, and you'll notice that I have them both open here in these tabs at the top. For right now, I'm just going to close about because I don't really need it. And I'm going to look at this index.html page. I'm going to come down below my paragraph tag, and I'm going to hit the letter A. And you'll notice the first thing that pops up is what's called an anchor. This is an anchor tag. These are what we use to create links to go from page to page within a site and even outside of a site as well. You'll notice that it has this new color that we haven't seen before in this equal sign. This is a new syntax for us. This is called an attribute. And these attributes are set equal to values inside of these double quotation marks. What we're going to do is we're going to say period, and that's telling this whole server that's running right now, look inside of the Web Basics folder, look inside the root. That's what the period stands for. We only have one folder open here right now, but this is our root folder, and the period is going to be the placeholder for the root. I'm going to say / about.html, if I can spell. And then in between the open and close tag, I'm going to say, click me to go to the About page. And then let's come back over here and give it a refresh. And hey, we have a new element inside of our page that's being rendered. So we have our H1 up here, nice and bold. We have our paragraph tag, which is just some information. And now we have this link. And you'll notice that if I hover over, it changes the cursor to a pointer, kind of like a hand there. It's blue in color, it's underlined. It lets me know that this is a clickable hyperlink. And you'll notice that down at the bottom left of the browser window, it's also telling me if you click here, this is where it's going to take you. So let's give it a click. And hey, it takes me to the All About Me page. Now I haven't built a way to go back yet, so let's come into our about.html. And I'm all for being a little bit lazy about these things. I can select this whole line and copy it and come back to where it says About. I'll come down below the H1 and paste that. And instead of it saying about.html, I want to be able to go back to my index.html. So I'll just change that. And we'll say to go to the index page, if I can type. Give it a refresh, and now we'll see what happens. Hey, there we go. And now we can go back and forth and travel through all of our different pages within our site. Let's add one more down here. I'll say new file, and let's do a contact.html. I'll do HTML as our snippet, and then hit enter, so it takes care of the boilerplate for me. And then I'll say contact me. And then down here, we'll say ways to get in touch. And again, if I refresh it, obviously nothing's going to happen because I'm not at contact.html. But if I come here, let's see, there we go, ways to get in touch, awesome. Let me go back to this index page. Let's come back to index here, so we're editing the right file. I've got this copied already, so let me actually just go ahead and come down and paste it. And we'll change this to contact page. And we can change this to contact.html, give it a save, give this a refresh, and hey, now we have this button, and I can press it and I can go to the contact page. So now we can travel from page to page within our site. So at this point, if I were you, I would take some time just adding some different elements to the contact page and the about page, maybe make some more pages and see if you can easily be able to travel all throughout your site without using the back and forward buttons up here.